I've got a Game Gear. Does that make me?
Yeah, that's a.
Am I cool yet?
It didn't make you cool when Game Gears were a thing.
No.
I will Actually, it did back in the day.
I don't think that it makes you cool anyway, because you have some
dope.
Bro, having a Game Gear was like having a unicorn. We were like, we didn't even know that existed, and you just showed me it.
Quentin here. I'm fine, babe.
This is Ethan. Nah, I'm gonna go. Don't worry, Devin's here. This is time. Let's rock and roll!
Welcome to the Not Switch 2 Rumor Brothers podcast.
Oh my God.
Finally over.
I have to talk about the rumors.
I know.
About a possible console.
Incorrect.
I'm so glad that we didn't record live reactions of our reactions to the Switch 2, which is coming out.
It is.
I'm glad we didn't, because it would have been me staring into the camera like this.
It would have been
for 2 minutes.
That actually might be a really fun reaction.
2 minutes and 22 seconds
for me because I was asleep.
Yeah, I was just like,
that's
like a light.
Early.
That was early.
I rolled over.
Rachel, how's the corner?
The corner is nice and warm.
Yeah, good. We have a real camera angle on her now.
Wow.
I was about to say, last episode we really were not respectful with that camera.
No, man. It was
I was about to say it was
in and out of focus the whole time.
and it cut off half your face.
You know the meme, the girl like too close to the camera and her eyes are really far apart. That was Rachel the entire last episode.
Yeah, I kind of liked it.
Yeah, guys, finally on the podcast for the first time ever, someone's repping Star Fox.
Look at this, and it's Star Fox Zero.
It's the best one. Actually, it's the most recent one.
It was pretty good.
Which is why we're trying to revive Star Fox.
Yeah.
Please, Star Fox.
Yeah.
Anything.
Star
Give
Fox,
us anything.
Let's have you on the pod.
Let's have
Star Fox.
Come on the pod, Star Fox.
Star Fox.
Give us your political opinion.
Yeah. Star Fox is a friend of the podcast.
He's very anti-Andros. I know that.
Yeah.
The
kind of racist against monkeys.
Very pro barrel roll.
But nonetheless, despite which game it is, it's still Star Fox.
It's still Star Fox, yeah.
I will say it's the only Star Fox game I haven't played. Which
we should play it. Coming soon.
It's fun.
Not coming soon.
It's just not very long.
Maybe eventually.
Yeah, eventually. Well, guys, it's that time again. Everybody's favorite time, and it's not just the Switch 2, but it actually is. It's the news.
Yeah.
Guys, do you like the number 100 as much as we do? Because we almost have 100 subscribers. If you like this, please subscribe. We're almost there.
Once we get 100 subscribers, YouTube will let us leave the house.
I know. Our big boss YouTube will finally like us if we have 100 subs.
100 subs. We should already have it now.
Yeah.
And the fact that we don't is wrong.
The algorithm is suppressing us.
Yeah. Look, guys, Stevie Meeks can only subscribe 25 times.
Yeah.
And he's done
per day.
Stevie's tired.
Stevie.
He's exhausted from making new puppet accounts and subscribing to this
every
podcast.
single time.
Which I'm going to give a shout out to Stevie.
As we tend to do.
Yeah, because he really needs our support.
As if,
not the other way around. Successful YouTuber.
Yeah.
YouTube partner Stevie Meeks needs our help. I'm going to congratulate him. He showed his face. We all know what he looks like now.
Oh yeah.
Go watch his Switch 2 reveal.
Hey.
Stevie Meeks.
Put a link.
One of these days, if we get to 100 subscribers, we'll reveal our faces.
Yeah. Real faces.
If we get to 100 subscribers, we'll reveal Stevie Meeks' address and coordinates.
I feel like my suggestion is if we get to 100 subscribers, we'll hide our faces.
Every 100 subscribers will dox one YouTuber of your choice.
Starting with Quentin.
With me. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, guys, it's official now. The Switch 2 is a real thing.
It's a real thing. It's called Switch 2.
It's called Switch 2.
Not Switcheroo.
Very
I'm
disappointing.
very upset.
Yeah, I don't like that.
You were not here
pre-order.
when I said that they just slapped the impact font on there to make that 2.
They did.
Yeah, so I looked into it. It's not actually impact font. That's more of a joke.
It just looks really
not actually impact.
No, I'm sure it's a custom font, but it just looks
impact
so close.
Has
to
the
impact.
top of the end of the 2.
Yeah.
And impact is a little flatter. Switch 2's is.
Well, an Impact is taller. Like in general, Impact.
Here's the thing:
is
As
less
far as
symmetrical.
logos and names go, it's pretty disappointing.
It's pretty
It is.
boring.
Here's my point: if you're
I'm
so
high
close,
on that
if you're
copium.
so close to looking like Impact that everyone in the room goes, "Is that the Impact font?" And then they look closer and they go, "No, it's not.
No, it's a little
You
bit
screwed up."
Look, no, Kyle Bossman put it perfectly. Like they can never own that 2. It will never be the iconic. Like the PlayStation 2 is like a 2 with no curves.
I still don't get why they didn't call it the Super Nintendo Switch.
They can't own that too.
Or the or even the Super Switch.
Super Switch,
my point is the Super Nintendo Switch.
I know. I know why they did it. It's just they're scared of another Wii U. You know.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
You can't confuse the Nintendo Switch 2 for a Nintendo Switch accessory, because when does an accessory ever come out that was called 2?
That's true.
You could just call it something other than
You could make it a cool looking 2. You could make it like a little Disney swirl 2. Or
even the logo is bad. Why not put the 2 between the Joy-Cons?
Oh yeah, I would like that.
That is a little.
What if it was the Joy-Cons like separated?
There is some,
like, what if it was like Roman numeral 2 between the Joy-Cons?
I have played around.
Yeah,
I have played around with the Switch logo, the Switch 2 logo, quite a bit, because I had a similar thought. I don't really like that when you look at it, it says 2 Nintendo Switch. It doesn't really say Nintendo Switch 2.
Yeah.
And I'm like you could have done a little better, but I've played around with it, and the 2 is an awkward number to have to put on there.
Roman numeral 2 is better.
Yeah,
Roman numeral 2 would have been a lot better.
Come on.
However,
and no video games.
This is not the section where we roast Nintendo for their terrible choices. I already do that enough alone in the shower.
Quinn already does that,
right? I literally am alone in the shower and I'm just like, despite Nintendo, I'm so angry at you. Where's the soap? You know.
So let's talk about
despite the logo. I really like the look of the console.
It looks really
very
cool.
sleek. Yeah. It's very rounded.
You know what I didn't
bigger
like?
Joy-Cons.
I think it's gonna feel really different.
It has 2 mouses. Yep, that's the plural of mice. That's the plural of mouse in a computer context.
Mice. Don't add them.
Yeah,
don't at me.
I have to say is that it was the best iPhone presentation that I have ever seen.
You weren't here for our impromptu.
No, I was not.
Yeah,
we did.
Did you all bring up?
It's exactly like Apple.
It looks exactly like an iPhone.
And I said the reason it's exactly like an Apple presentation, it was probably thrown together very quickly. I think they planned to reveal it in April, and they were like, it's leaking everywhere, we have to show it.
Here's the thing though, I will say super effective at showing the difference between the Switch and the Switch 2.
That's very true.
Showing a Switch and then having it
literally transform into the Switch 2. I will say Furukawa, I think his legacy as the president, which I think ultimately is probably good for how the market's changed. In the same way that Iwata was stepping in because the previous president was really good at what he did when he was doing it, and then all of a sudden the market was changing, and Iwata was more of an evidence-based thinker. He wanted to see where is the market going based on data, which is why all of a sudden, the N64 is a powerhouse, the GameCube's a powerhouse. No, it's weaker than both of its other competitors, and it's sold like crazy. So I think Furukawa's probably going to be known as the guy who's like, we don't have to Nintendoify everything if it means it keeps the games are what people are here for. The games are our legacy.
He's already known for the NVIDIA partnership. That's what got him the job.
So make it a little more plain in its presentation, just so that more people can play the games that'll be Nintendo's classic.
Now, here's a question that's news related.
Okay.
They've said that the Switch 2 is backwards compatible with most Nintendo Switch games. Which evidently means not all.
They're not including an IR sensor in the Joy-Con. There's no way.
So I was about to say,
at the bottom, you mean, on the right?
So that excludes the 1-2 Switch games, and then that also excludes Labo, right?
That's why they say most.
So that's why they say most.
Kitten Grista said that it had legal written all over it.
Sure. Yeah, right.
You can't legally say that it plays all Nintendo Switch games, because then you could get sued when someone buys Ring Fit, and it just doesn't work.
No, but did they say anything about specs? Because the trailer...
they did not, but the specs, the same people who leaked everything else have leaked the specs.
Can it do 4K?
Yeah.
Oh,
it does 4K using DLSS. It's not native.
Okay.
And then the screen itself is 1080p.
Is it OLED?
I don't think
they
so.
haven't leaked that. They haven't leaked
I
the composition
really
of the
hope
screen,
that it
but I
is.
doubt it's OLED because OLED screens are expensive.
At least give us an OLED model from launch.
I would hope.
Yeah.
I hope there's like a more expensive OLED model.
The problem is
there are at least 2 SKUs if the GameStop leak was real.
Well, I'll tell you, the problem with OLEDs is that once you've used OLEDs, you cannot go back to
I
not using an
100%
OLED.
Hard to go back.
It looks so much better.
I saw the reveal for the OLED Switch, and I was like, that's kind of cool, but I probably won't go for it. I bought you, Rachel, an OLED Switch for our anniversary, and I watched her play it, and the
jealousy.
the envy overtook me because I was just like,
it looks so much
I have
nicer.
to have
It's
one.
No,
so
I remember when
pretty.
Devin showed me the OLED Switch for the first
Yeah.
time because I don't own one, and I looked at it and I was just like, all right, yeah, this actually does look really good.
It's
like
so good.
everything looks better on
So
it.
those true blacks, you don't realize the lack of contrast until you see it.
Right,
Yeah.
how much of a difference it is from an IPS
There are
screen.
some games where I would prefer to undock and play them. Just because they're so colorful and they pop so well. And
That's
I don't
why-
have an OLED
I was
TV.
just about to say that's why you gotta have an OLED TV.
Quentin and Ty have an OLED TV. It's really obnoxious.
We have nice OLED TVs. We have nice OLED handheld devices.
Yeah.
I've got a Game Gear. Does that make me?
Yeah, that's it.
Am I cool? Yeah.
It didn't make you cool when Game
No.
Gears were a thing.
No.
I will
Actually,
say,
it did back in the day.
I don't think that it makes you cool anyway, because you have some.
It was dope, if you
bro,
wanted to
having a
get
Game Gear was like having a unicorn. We were like, we didn't even know that existed.
Yeah.
No,
And
this
you
is
just
a-
showed me it, like
No, the
out of
problem
nowhere.
with the Game Gear is the more that you talk about the Game Gear, the less
Yeah.
cool it becomes because you're like, how many batteries? What do you mean? Do you have to plug
What do you
it up?
play on it? Nothing.
What?
Yeah.
What? I don't understand.
You needed a small thermonuclear reactor to run the Game
Look at
Gear.
this.
Okay,
For
guys,
10
we
minutes.
have to talk
It weighs 8
about
pounds.
Mario Kart 9, 10, whatever it's going to end up being.
I'd love if it
Yes.
was called Mario Kart 10 and they just
Just ignore the 9.
just didn't say that.
I'd love if
10 would be acknowledging Tour as a real game.
yes,
yeah.
but they shouldn't.
Which they already have because Tour tracks are in 8 Deluxe.
The hatred I have for tour tracks makes me want them to just disregard it and
Forget
pretend
it.
it never
Yeah,
happened.
same,
I hate
same.
But
those
I also
tour
kind of
tracks.
count Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as 9.
Yeah,
Because
kinda.
it's so
It's
different.
so different.
Yeah, that's true.
It's so
pretty
different.
They add a lot.
What if they
hated
called it Mario Kart
8.
12 and no matter how much math you do, you can't figure out where they got there?
Here's my thing.
Pretty great, actually.
Pretty good.
the biggest troll.
I think that they should call it Mario Kart 10,
Deluxe.
but not because of the mobile horrible game,
Mhm.
but because they should release another Mario Kart game on the Nintendo Switch 1
Oh,
before the Switch 2 comes out.
interesting.
And it will be Mario Kart 9.
Quentin's
What about that
really
little
bad
racing,
at marketing.
What about that racing
I think
one
it's a good
where
idea.
it was like little cars, the little
home
cars?
home
Yeah.
tour or like
Yeah.
live circuit or something.
Yeah, yeah.
It-
little.
It's called now I named mine Mario Kart 13
13 just to bump it
just
up.
to bump it up. 'cause
Now,
he came
the
up
game
with
looks absolutely gorgeous.
Looks great.
I've peered over the
a lot of people
footage.
don't like Donkey Kong in it.
We gotta
looks
talk
like
about Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
because
because
they're
he's
like,
the classic look.
he
right?
looks like the movie Donkey Kong or
Yeah.
something.
But he's
He's
He
classic.
looks the most
I only watched that
different.
movie once. I forgot that Donkey Kong was in the Mario movie. Doesn't he look like the old box art
he
of
looks-
Donkey Kong?
He's a
Kinda
mix.
classic.
He's a mix.
Yeah. 'Cause
that's
Between
what I
he's
thought.
got more of the body shape
Yeah.
of Rareware's Donkey Kong.
Yep.
And then his face is a mixture. He has the poof, the iconic poof of
Okay.
Donkey Kong with like the swirl. His mouth is slightly elongated like the Rareware's Donkey Kong, but then his eyes are very much classic Donkey Kong.
They're
Yeah.
very
Right.
deep
They're-
set.
Very
Okay,
deep set.
yeah, right.
Less
Yeah.
of the big like brow that made
okay.
him look like a caveman, and more like much more emotive. He has
Yeah.
a lot more like
It is the
expression.
most.
sure.
I've looked through it because like Bowser looks a little different, but I was looking at him
Yeah.
like he actually looks a little
Mario
more.
has
in
cheekbones
Mario's a little
now.
more
In
cheekbones.
what?
In the Mario Kart.
Mario
Yes,
Kart,
in
yeah.
Mario Kart.
Bowser
yeah.
doesn't look. He looks different. You're right,
Yeah.
but like he doesn't look that different. Mario looks a little different with the cheek. Then you see Donkey Kong, and you're like, is that a new character?
It just looks like a different dude.
It looks
Yeah.
entirely different.
Also, the bikes. Everybody seems to be just wearing their regular costumes. On
Peach
bikes.
is on
Have you
a
noticed
is
that?
on a bike, but she's just in her dress and her hair's down, which is
How are people going to be horny about Mario Kart characters now?
if she's not in a
It'll be
jumpsuit.
it'll
if
be
she's
a
not
struggle.
in a skin
No,
tight suit,
it's
Well,
interesting.
they'll find a way.
I'm sure.
I've been
I'm sure.
looking at artwork for Super Mario Kart, and the characters look a lot like they do.
Interesting.
Mario, if
okay.
you've noticed his as he moved into 3D and the more modern takes on Mario, It's not as drastic of a change as like modern Sonic versus classic Sonic by any
or
means.
ugly Sonic.
Or well,
That's more of a
no, definitely not that.
it's a little bit more
Mario's
of a shift.
eyes have gotten bigger and his cheeks have kind of gotten smaller over the years. But in the old Super Nintendos, he had more round cheeks and his eyes were a little bit smaller. In the new Mario Kart, he looks more like that.
Yeah.
Bowser has more of like a cat-like look to him, which is more like Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
So it could be kind of like a revival of that Super Nintendo
Like a
era.
retro.
Because Donkey Kong's redesign from the movie looks kind of like Donkey Kong Jr., which, to be fair, Donkey Kong Jr. looks like classic Donkey Kong. So I'm kind of saying...
Yeah, it's all coming from the same
Duped.
spot.
Yeah.
I have duped my
You
sentence.
got introduced by Devin Dotson.
No, but see, I knew something was going on with Donkey Kong because technically in the Mario movie, every character is a little different. Like Bowser doesn't look just like he does from the movie, the games.
Yeah.
But Miyamoto went out of his way in that Nintendo Direct to say Donkey Kong's design has been revamped. This is the first time we've done it since his revamp in 1994. And I thought that's weird that he mentioned, of all the characters, Donkey Kong looking different.
Yeah.
And now, boom, switch to new Mario Kart, redesigned Donkey Kong. He was saying like, no, we internally redesigned him for this
Interesting.
movie. And so I'm curious, will Diddy Kong also have his redesign from the movie? Or was that more...
Diddy Kong is in the Mario movie?
Yeah,
He is.
he is. Yeah, he doesn't speak,
very
but he's
briefly.
in it.
He's sitting next to Dixie in the thing.
Dixie Kong is in the Mario movie?
Listen,
Yeah.
Kitty Kong is in the Mario movie.
Kitty Kong is...
Chunky Kong is
Chunky
in the...
Kong?
Yeah.
People say you can see Lanky. I haven't seen...
I need
Okay,
to watch another breakdown of the Mario movie.
Who is Banjo-Kazooie in this film?
I wish. Maybe.
Is who? I don't know. I mean, there's so many
sat
characters.
next to
around.
Gruntilda at the,
Who's-
when I saw
next
it.
I was about to say, this is amazing.
That poor lady that sat next to you.
What's amazing? I was about. I sat next to you when
So,
we watched
in
that.
case-
How dare you? I put on that
Apt
green
description,
paint.
sir.
I put on that green paint in that witch's costume, and you went and called me Gruntilda.
Yeah, he thought he was seeing Wicked.
Yeah.
I
know. So let's talk about 24 Racers. That's insane.
I love
That is
it.
insane.
I love
1-4.
chaos.
They
Big fan of
doubled
chaos.
it.
Fantastic YouTuber, Stevie Meeks.
Yep.
Left a comment talking about how he thinks it'd be neat if it knocked the last race.
It was like
off.
elimination.
Yeah, an
Yeah, it's like
elimination
elimination.
mode.
Like
Yeah.
every time you cross
Oh,
the
yeah.
like after the third lap, the
musical
last like
chairs.
2 players disappear, and it keeps happening.
I like
Yeah.
it.
That would be
That'd
be kinda
really
scary.
fun.
Quentin,
Sick.
brace yourself.
Oh my god!
I'm going to talk
brace.
about emulation. Sort of. I'm going to talk about ROM hacking. This ROM
okay.
hacker made something called Mario Kart 64 Amped.
Yeah.
And it has an elimination mode that's really fun, where
Oh,
like
that's
you
cool.
just keep circling until there's only one person left.
That's super cool.
Okay,
And
that sounds like fun.
yeah, it's pretty incredible how like I remember when Mario Kart 8, or rather Mario Kart Wii, jumped from 8 racers in Double Dash and DS to 12 racers.
Yeah.
And
Just
that felt
addition,
huge.
of 4 racers made it way more chaotic and way more fun.
Especially in Double Dash.
And then, well,
No,
Wii
it
was the first one to do it.
Oh, Wii. No, I was
Yeah.
gonna say yeah.
I mean, Double Dash technically has 16 racers, but on 8 cards.
8
Right.
cards, yeah.
No, but I remember that just 4 more carts was insane. They went, guess what? We're not adding 4. We're doubling the amount of racers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy.
Do you guys think it'll be a mode, or do you think it's just the default race?
I hope it's a mode, and the only reason I say is that you're probably going to convince me to buy the game.
You
and
have
then
to.
I'm going to
We have a
play the game.
YouTube channel now. You have to.
He's gonna hold you at gunpoint.
I was about to say.
walk you to
Literally
Best
have to.
Buy.
Yes, I will be in a straight jacket on a wheelie, you know, trying to get me there. But I hope it's a mode because I should not have to suffer 24 players all the time.
I think it'll be like 200cc was. It'll
You
be
think
a
so?
mode.
Yeah.
It'll be a racing style.
I think it's more reasonable to think it'll be a mode.
I think certain. So another thing someone pointed out is if you look at the track they're on, it's gigantic.
Yeah.
It's massive.
And so it
Yeah.
might be like they have a bunch of classic tracks, and then they have like 6 to 10 tracks that are double sized.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Kind of like Smash Bros with the big
Exactly.
stages.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love. I'm gonna just keep gushing about that. Go ahead.
It's funny actually you mentioned Smash Bros because that's what I was thinking is the 8-player Smash.
Yeah.
Before Smash Bros Ultimate came out and revealed 8 players. I left a comment saying on some message board going like, "Man, I'd love it if they had 8-player Smash and got roasted. Like everyone
so
was like,
funny.
"The
That
Switch
won't
can't
work."
handle that much, and the
Yeah.
gameplay would be impossible." And
Yeah.
blah, blah,
To
blah.
be
and
fair-
then I was like, the next thing they showed was 8-player Smash, all of them ice climbers, and I'm like,
Oh,
get
shoot.
wrecked.
Yeah.
I
Get
will say,
absolutely wrecked.
to
I was
be
gonna say,
fair,
I hope you rub that in their face.
Yeah.
to be fair to these internet bullies, it is a nightmare
Yeah.
playing 8-player Smash.
Yeah.
I said
So,
that in my
I
post.
will
I was
say
like,
it
yeah.
doesn't- It does
Yeah.
not work very well.
8-player Smash, items on.
Oh,
I don't know how to
that's
tell you guys this, but chaos is fun.
Chaos.
Chaos is
I
fun.
Unless you
find-
have like a visual processing disorder, and then it's just like
I was
Yeah.
gonna say,
watercolor paint.
no,
just
that's
blurred
fair.
together.
That's
Yeah,
what
that's
it
fair.
8-player Smash with items on is.
Incredible.
It's basically like playing what's it
It's
baby
like-
circuit what's
Oh,
Baby Park.
yeah.
baby park
Yeah.
with
Chaos.
It's like a tripping on mushrooms.
Yeah.
Like it's incredible.
I have to say that
Oh,
I
okay.
wanna real quick wrap up the Mario Kart discussion by talking about how the animations look so good.
Look really good,
like
yeah.
when they jump, the stretch and pull of like that
That's
cartoon.
becoming
It's hard
like
to get.
that's becoming like Nintendo's thing these days.
Mhm.
Mario Wonder has like the best animations
Incredible.
in the series,
Yeah.
man. Like
The art department's
Yeah.
really firing at all cylinders over at Nintendo.
Yeah.
I was
Absolutely
I was
amazing.
happy with them showing a new Mario Kart game because we had just talked about it.
Yeah.
And thus, the Power Up Brothers podcast can say, we brought it up first.
Yeah.
We called it.
Nobody
definitely.
else
No
in
one.
the gaming sphere.
No one's
one
mentioned
on,
it.
No one on YouTube. No one on
Everybody
Game
w-
FAQs.
yeah.
No one on.
Everyone was saying Mario Kart's
Twitter.com.
done now.
It's over.
Everyone
Yeah.
said there's no more Mario Kart, and they're never doing it again.
Yeah.
Right.
And those hack frauds on the Power Up Brothers podcast are wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said that, and we were justified.
they egged
And
my
we-
house.
Yeah.
They
They burned my
that
house
was
to
just
the
that was
ground.
just Quentin.
Uh,
He was just mad at you.
but he
weren't
was,
supposed to
he was
tell me
mad
that.
about it too.
I was gonna say I was really upset.
They
but,
kidnapped my wife and children, but I don't want them back.
I didn't even know you
but,
had that.
But what they didn't show
Mhm.
was a new Star Fox game.
no,
It is
but it's
true.
coming.
Are we getting
it's a
a
We're
rumor.
summoning it.
I was going to say, are
We're
we
summoning
getting?
it.
We're summoning
with
it.
this whole
I am going to make a
podcast.
prediction that my next prediction is that Smash Bros is the next.
I think so too.
is the next thing.
I
Yeah.
think that what they're going to show is Smash Bros. Ultimate Deluxe.
Yeah.
Very
I
possible.
think that they
Yeah.
are
Very
not
possible.
going to release a new Smash Bros. game.
But now you mentioned
my
that we
speculation.
brought up that on this podcast we brought up Mario Kart 9,
yes,
and there was a segment we brought it up in. What segment was that?
was there a
Ty,
segment?
what segment was it?
I believe that was topic of the week.
Oh. Guys, welcome to Topic of the Week. It's a
Topic
segment
of the
when
week.
four white guys have a chat.
about politics.
politics.
No.
And women's reproductive rights.
Yes,
That's right.
that's what we
Right.
talk about.
Just uncontroversial.
Hard-hitting topics.
We're obviously
I think-
qualified to talk about these
Mhm.
things.
Super Princess Peach,
Mhm.
okay, is a good game secretly and
Controversy.
actually
With the
rep-
vibe
and
staff,
actually represents women perfectly.
we got to
Huh.
move on from this.
Yeah.
That's my
Uh,
topic.
Ty, I edit these videos. You never go first.
And I won't start today.
All
So
right.
my topic
Oh.
is
So, okay, yeah, I got a topic. My topic is about the Nintendo Switch 2.
Oh,
What a surprise. We can't stop talking about
I'm
this
gonna
thing.
pass out.
but I assume it's more like
When do you think the
speculative.
Nintendo Switch 3 will be announced?
Oh,
No, dude.
tomorrow
next year
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
when the
Uh,
Switch 2 flops.
So the feature, the only like truly new
Okay.
feature they've showcased
Yep.
Mhm.
for the Switch 2 is the Joy-Cons clearly can be used as
They're
mouses.
sliding across the table.
They're sliding across the table. We had seen a little optical sensor in there. We talked briefly about this, but about like how it works and ways in which it could be used, mouse more precise than just having motion controls.
built in. Yeah, I think Ethan pointed out the fact that it would be built in.
Yeah.
That they would start accounting for mouse controls in games like
Yeah.
Zelda,
And yeah,
and it would make emulation much easier
it will.
if someone was
Um,
into that.
The question I have though is that like, what do you think Nintendo's going to use mouse controls for?
I don't know, but
in
I
The
know what
Legend of Zelda.
He just got me with that.
I-
If someone was into that.
I don't know what Nintendo's going to
anyone's
use
into
the
that
mouse
thing,
controls for,
you know what
but
you're
I
going
know
to.
what I'm going to
You
use
know
the
what
mouse
you're
controls
gonna
I'm
use.
for.
excited
And
just because.
the other part
Go
of the
ahead.
question, real quick though, is anybody else going to use it?
Actually, it's one of those.
no, I think they
features-
will actually.
I think they actually will.
I think they will.
I don't think it's hard to wrap your head around what to do with it. You know what I mean? Like because I mean I say that, but then like the
motion
pointer.
control.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
No,
everyone
Can we
else
get
is
a new
terrible.
Mario paint up in here?
I'm going to answer that
Oh,
question
man.
with
I would actually kill for
with
that.
while
That
I
would be dope. Mario Maker. Actually, Mario Maker is
Maker
the
would benefit
series
from
where
that.
like when I was playing Mario Maker 2,
Yeah.
I would literally undock my Switch to design the level and then
Mhm.
dock it to
Mhm.
test.
well,
And I was just
yeah.
like, this is the
I mean-
only time this happened. I was like, the Wii U one was better.
Do you think that
Like,
lap desk
yeah.
sales are about to shoot through the roof?
Through the
Oh, I'm
Absolutely.
sure. Well,
Through
here's
the
my
roof.
thing. To answer your question,
Yeah.
I think that they're going to use it like a mouse.
Incredible.
That's my prediction first.
Quentin with
Incredible.
these hot takes.
No, here's the thing.
Because because
please.
my point is that it will operate like a mouse.
Yeah.
Now, ergonomically, it's the worst mouse that has
really
ever been
is.
designed. However, it will work like a mouse. Nintendo, however, will use it in other ways that are incredibly stupid, that no one in their right mind would use it.
They'll have an ironing sim.
They'll have an ironing sim.
I am really excited to see how the next Mario Party uses it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then
absolutely.
you placed your excitement in the wrong place, my friend.
Oh.
Because while the next Mario Party will have some interesting things,
Yeah.
every Mario Party game is just this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
It's every
true.
Mario Party
Correct.
game.
Yeah.
But
Frantic shaking
Yeah.
of the
the thing
controller.
you should be excited
Yeah.
for is the next WarioWare game.
Oh,
which is going to be on
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
There is going to be an
Yeah,
irony
yeah.
mini game where you're
Yeah.
ironing Wario's face and he becomes more terrified the more you iron him.
Is there
It's gonna
is
be-
there already a WarioWare Unhinged? Because that would be a
be.
great WarioWare
That would be a
name.
great
Yeah.
title.
That would be a
Really
great title.
good.
But yeah, just to summarize, I think that primarily, I think a lot of people are going to use it, but they're just going to use it as a mouse.
Yeah, makes sense.
And Nintendo's, they're going to use it stupidly because
Ty had a
they're
good
insane.
idea where he was like, you said like a pod racer style game where it's like,
Yeah, and I think Ethan actually specifically mentioned that like Pod
Or like-
Racer, where you like move the
Oh, like in
joysticks
Gundam.
forward.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
One
That
mouse
would be dope.
backwards, another forward to turn.
That would
Yeah.
be amazing.
Okay, that
Also, I
would
kinda
said it
fun.
last
Yeah.
time, but I do think Wii emulation is going to lean on that because
yeah, maybe
because the pointer on the Wii remote was super precise
was an IR sensor.
and could sit still, and a
Yeah.
mouse can do that, and gyro can't.
Gyro
Here's
can't
the
run
real
it.
question:
Yeah.
why not just have more precise pointer controls?
Well, no gyro. There's no way to make gyro as precise as
Like,
infrared.
Yeah, and I mean,
Sure.
I hot take. I think the pointer controls will be more precise because gyro controls
Yeah,
generally
sure.
each console just kind of get better and
Sure.
more precise, and there's no reason for this one not to. But yeah, to Devin's point, the main reason you'll never have a gyro as precise as a mouse is friction. Mouse has that friction against whatever it's sliding against, and it lets you stop on a dime, and it adds a ton of precision. It's also constantly recalibrating itself because it has a laser and a physical object to bounce
Sure.
off of.
Right.
No gyro, even if it has a magnetometer and can do all kinds of calibrations,
It won't be as
it can
much,
never
yeah.
match
It's
that.
all the gyro's always trying to figure out where it is in space.
Yeah.
Whereas an infrared is constantly receiving a signal going, "You have not moved. You have not
Yeah.
moved." And so, like,
It's always being told. Where
It's always
at.
being told where
That's
it's
a
at.
better way to
Now, the
figure it out.
downside, of course,
I
is
think
that
mine
you
was more clear. You have not moved. You have not.
the downside is that you have to have a flat surface, which is why I said like
Yeah.
our lap
It's
desk's
strange.
going to sell. I've heard a few YouTubers say that no one's going to use this feature because you would have to be sitting at a desk or something. I disagree with that. Lap desks are a thing, but I do think that it is a little bit cumbersome to have a flat surface on which to run that mouse
Yeah.
No, I think that it's
on
weird
your couch.
because their primary focus is on couch play,
Yeah, sure.
and if you're playing on a couch,
Yeah,
obviously you have to have something. Here's my point: you could, with a large enough couch, take 2 mouse pads and set them in the seats where other people would be sitting if you had friends or a girlfriend
and
or
no
a
one
wife,
has those.
and
But
most-
couches are still big.
but couches are still big.
Yeah.
Just set some mouse pads. Go to your dollar store. They're there.
Now you guys know
Yeah.
I have a captain's chair that I sit in like Baron Harkonnen to stare at my TV, and it has a mouse pad on the side because I play my
So-
computer games and stuff from it.
You're set when it comes to
I already am set
Nintendo Switch.
You've
for
already got it
this.
down.
Mhm.
I think that it's going to have a lot more functions than just the mouse.
That's what I wanted to talk about. Like,
I think
what,
that, like-
what are those stupid ways Nintendo's going to use?
I'm picturing
I-
like a Mario Party game where you hold it up like a phone and then you try to get it like as far away from you as you can without the other person realizing that you've hung up on them. And like the IR sensor can tell how far away
a rangefinder feature would be really good.
No,
Regular optical mice don't have a powerful enough laser for that.
I was just going to say,
But you could do that.
I don't know how strong this thing is.
I don't either.
I think the stupidest use that it's going to have is blinding children.
There's
Because
definitely
someone
gonna
is
be a
going to
warning.
point it right at their face.
Well, it's
Definitely gonna be a
probably
warning.
they're probably using an infrared light at this
We'll
point.
see.
We hope.
I would hope.
Fingers
Here's
crossed.
my thing. Like I said at some point on the podcast, Nintendo will use it for something stupid like identifying the shape of a banana, which is and that's what I'm going to say is my
Which
what I'm throwing
here
in the
for
ring.
it. I'm so excited.
go for
You
it.
know, at some point, like during a demo or a direct, Nintendo's going to be like, and you can put it on your thigh and use your thigh as a disc, and it's going to be the most cumbersome, least practical usage.
Yeah.
Of
It's going to look like a
Do
terrible
you remember
infomercial.
in the Nintendo Switch is like one of the first trailers for it when the guy has a Joycon and he's like it has this advanced rumble feature, right?
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
haptic feedback.
He's
And he's
so
like,
ice.
you can shake it and it's a glass of ice on the screen, and he's like, and feel how many ice cubes
Yeah.
are in it, right? And no
That's a
one ever
1-2
used that
No.
ever.
Well,
like
I think
that
that's
is-
a 1-2
and it
switch
was
game,
really
isn't it?
good.
Yeah.
If you've ever played
It works
1-2
really well.
Switch,
Yeah.
you can actually tell.
Which
like,
I was about to say, the Ice Cube thing is in 1-2 Switch.
Yeah.
where you
It's
just
fantastic. You
you count how many marbles are in
I
the
have
Joy-Con,
never played 1-2 Switch.
Yeah.
However, I do know of some of the games in it because when they were demoing the Switch, Hideo Kojima was there.
Oh.
He played the Quick Draw game.
Yep.
And he did his little revolver ocelot thing where he spun the Joy-Con around
Incredible.
because he's a dweeb.
He is a
He is
dweeb.
dweeb.
The best
love
kind
that
of
guy.
dweeb.
I think my thought is this: is that I think we might run into, like the same thing that happened with the Wii, same thing that kind of happened with 3DS. So they did a little better with their touch screens, and definitely happened with Wii U. Is that Nintendo is going to use it in a bunch of really, really cool ways
Yeah.
that they never get a chance to fully flesh out.
Mhm.
But they're like, here's this really cool use of this, and they put it out there. And no other company is. Everyone else is going to, like you said, is going to use it as a mouse.
Yeah.
Nintendo's going to put out these great ideas. If other companies would take that and run with it, they would create some really amazing stuff.
I agree.
But they never
never
do.
Yeah.
Right.
And so like I said, like the pod racing thing, that's the thing I could
So
imagine
cool.
Nintendo doing. Or
Yeah.
like
Or Gundam. Like
Yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
have it be a Gundam game
That'd be
where
so
you've
cool.
got, actual
I hope
controls like that.
I hope that people start. There are a lot of features that I feel like get left behind, like you talked about the HD Rumble.
Yeah.
That's a feature that isn't used that often on Nintendo Switch, but weirdly is used in every PS5 game, and they
Yeah.
have basically the same thing. The PS5 has a little advantage because the speaker is also used to augment the
Yeah.
Rumble, but it's the same like
Marvel Rivals
motors.
has really good
Yeah.
HD Rumble.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and but nobody uses it on the Switch for some reason other
don't
than
get it.
Nintendo. Mario Odyssey has incredible HD Rumble.
Yeah.
Tears
of the Kingdom.
of the Kingdom has really great HD Rumble, but most
Shockingly,
games don't.
Mario 3D All Stars has really good HD Rumble.
It does.
I don't know
But,
why
but
Mario
most
64
companies
was
just
one
don't
of
do it, but they do it on other consoles. They
don't get it.
even did it on Steam Deck, Steam controller for as long as that lasted. And so I hope other companies come up with some creative uses
Same.
for this thing.
Yeah. But don't let the market keep moving towards homogeny. I get that it probably sells
Yeah.
better, but please make unique games.
It's going to
Mhm.
because they used Impact font.
Yeah. Mhm. The most homogenous they could go.
Yep. All right, Quentin, what you got for us, bro?
Beauty standards
Yes.
in video games.
And we're out of time.
Beauty standards in
we're
video
out of
games.
time.
Yeah.
Gentlemen,
They're
beauty standards in
Right.
video games. Wait a moment. Beauty standards in video games.
Thank you for your
If
time.
you say it one more time, we're moving to a different time.
Now, let me explain something. A lot of people are chafed about this topic.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard.
Right.
Everybody online, no matter where I go, they keep saying, this girl's ugly. This girl's ugly. This girl's a lesbian.
Mhm.
Okay? Every single time.
Are those just comments on your
These-
page?
These are comments on my Instagram. I keep telling them.
You don't post about video games.
I keep saying,
Yeah.
I'm not in a video game. I'm a real human, and I'm not a lesbian, and it's not nice to say these things.
Right.
My point is to these commenters, okay, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. This is a lesbian, okay? But I'm all right with it. My point is, ultimately, the question is, and really this comes down to the question of, whether this is some kind of a woke DEI plot.
Yeah,
obviously.
I assumed your question would round about to that.
But when you think of beauty standards in video games, does it bother you when you see that the main character of an otherwise really good game is not attractive to you personally? Or do you think, I've played Skyrim, I don't care. You can't make a good-looking character on that game. They all look like a nightmare.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
What do you think? Does it bother you when main characters are not attractive to you?
I don't know. Like, I think it depends on how you mean. Like, if you mean sexually attractive, not at all. If you mean like,
well, Mario's your favorite game.
Yeah, well, that's true.
That's a good-looking guy.
But he's the only one I need.
But if visually appealing might be a better way
I
of
have
saying
to like the design. I will say that I'm a stickler. If I don't like the way the main character looks,
you're going to spend the whole game looking at their butt.
Yeah, at the back of their head.
Better be worth looking at.
Yeah, well,
for some reason.
Okay, why do you think I like Mario games?
Actually, So it's really interesting. It's funny you bring that up because I feel like both sides of the gender spectrum come into play in the same game here. Make a really easy example is the original Xenoblade on the Wii. I thought the characters looked like the main character Shulk kind of looks a little ugly, and I didn't like it. Like, he kind of doesn't have a chin, and the textures are a little muddy. And I was like,
very much so.
It made it kind of hard to play. Where I'm like, this guy, he doesn't look the way they're trying to present him.
Interesting.
In the same game, a little later on, you run into a character who's like the internet just slobbers all over, right? But I actually didn't like her character design because she was designed to be like this, filled out, busty, hot lady, right? But her personality is kind of like a momish prude, and I'm like, then why she's got booty shorts on and her midriff?
It doesn't fit.
She doesn't look the way she acts.
Right.
At the same time, the last story comes out, and all the characters in it are unbelievably hot, but the character who is the more momish prude has a turtleneck sweater. Right?
She looks
but then
more
another
like her
character is just very promiscuous and dresses like, and I'm like, the reason that this works in one setting and doesn't work over here is that they wrote these characters to look the way they act.
Okay,
the more promiscuous character dresses more provocatively, and that plays into her story. And the prudish one dresses more respectably and dresses more appropriately, and that also plays into her character, both positives and negatives. But in Xenoblade, we just had in the redefined version, they just made Shulk look better because they gave him a chin and made him look,
wild.
Well, they made him look the way his personality kind of fit. And then with Charlotte, they didn't change that, and it still doesn't match. It's I get that people get super they love this character design, they think that she's hot, and I'm like, it's not that I have anything against the character being attractive or not, it's that it just needs to match the personality.
Okay.
It needs to match the story, or it feels off. It's why is this character
so
look
for
this
you
way?
Design intention is more important.
The question really comes down to, so sorry, please finish your thought. I didn't mean to cut you off.
The final thing I was going to say is that it's the same with just general attractiveness levels, is that there are some games where I the character is supposed to look a certain way, right? If they're supposed to be a peasant from a farm, then they can look like a medieval peasant from a farm and not like a Disney princess.
Okay,
it fits, it works.
Okay,
if they are, it has to have some kind of value to their character. If they're supposed to be attractive, that also needs to have value.
Sure,
you can't just be well, we threw them in there just for the poster.
Okay.
For me, it depends on if my game is first person or third person. All right, because a third person game, I gotta look at this character's backside the entire game.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes
I better like it.
Okay.
No, but here's the thing: I don't have to want to jump them,
right?
For me to like it. In Dead Space, you play as a cool spacesuited guy. That spacesuit looks cool,
Yeah.
and I don't mind looking at that thing. All right, I don't mind it. It looks cool. I
Yeah.
want to wear that
It
spacesuit.
doesn't bother you, yeah.
Right? It doesn't
Right.
bother me. In Tomb Raider, for obvious reasons, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Uncharted, I don't want to look at that guy.
Oh,
No.
Why?
why?
I don't want to look at that guy. I'm not
Nathan
attracted
Drake.
to Nolan North. He's not Troy Baker.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. I see what you're saying.
No,
But-
so
So, Devin, what do you think?
I guess the main thing, and I mean, everybody has a different experience. Like, I'm a very happily married man.
Right.
So, obviously,
better be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so obviously, that's going to influence how I feel about video game characters.
And loneliness is on the rise.
So
And loneliness
wait,
is on the
so-
rise. So I don't want to
You
be
got that right.
I don't want to be cruel to anybody, but at the same time, for me personally, just speaking to my own experience, I can't say that I go looking for that in a video game.
You're
Like, it's not
yeah.
even on my radar to go like, oh boy, I hope this main character's hot, so
So-
that I can feel something.
Right.
You know,
Right. Yeah.
it's
right.
like I
Yeah.
don't have that experience, so it doesn't really.
Mm.
But at the same time, like, if I'm honest, like, who's hotter, Zero Suit Samus or Samus? Like, obviously Zero Suit. She looks like a human person, and Samus looks like a robot.
Samus in her suit,
But
the suit looks cool.
Which
You
do
don't
I wanna
mind looking
play?
at that.
Yeah, which do I want to play
See,
as?
yeah.
It's regular Samus because she looks cool.
just has to look appealing.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
So-
Like, it has to look appealing.
Artistically
If I'm
interesting.
But if I'm playing as an actual dump truck of a human being,
I
and I
mean-
have to look at it the whole time, and they're dripping constantly, I'm not gonna play that game because I don't like
You're
it.
calling out Sonic the
Yeah.
Hedgehog.
Yeah, correct.
DX.
Correct.
Right? I mean, here's my
Correct.
thing. You know, I know a lot of people really had issue with that new Naughty Dog game. They said, I don't like this person. Their
Naughty Dog
the
game.
new Naughty Dog game that's a space
Oh,
adventure.
the
They showed it
teaser.
off at
The teaser.
the teaser. They said, I don't like this
They were
person.
too hot.
because this person is bald, right? But I mean, the design is like
No
a punk.
memory of this.
She looks
Oh,
kind of like
yeah.
she's a kind of an Akira style punk
Yeah.
in space, right? And
The
so like,
cowboy bebop thing.
I was
that
like,
they
if
made.
she was bald, if she had a mohawk, any of those things, they would suit the design quite well,
Sure.
right? But a lot of people don't like the design because they think it's very unattractive. But I think going along with what you guys are saying, if it suits it, is good. On the other hand, my problem is not with what most people are complaining about. Most people are complaining about Aloy, from that hit game Horizon. Okay?
Okay, as being unattractive.
They say, oh God, this supermodel cave woman warrior is unattractive to me. That's not the problem at hand. I'll tell you the
The
problem
problem
I have.
is, why isn't she a man doing this?
The problem-
Isn't Aloy played by a real model?
Yeah. Yeah, she
Yeah.
is.
Like an
The-
actual
I
fashion.
didn't understand
The
this.
problem at hand is this.
Orbit your microphone. a little
That men in video games are more attractive than I am.
Yeah.
And it makes me jealous
I was-
because
Here, I was actually going to say
They're
that
more
'cause
attractive.
Yes,
I was going to say it's
because-
out of control because Marvel rivals.
Yeah.
Captain
Here's
America-
the point.
Everybody's complaining about Marvel Rivals. They're like, all these women have giant dump trucks and they're all so sexy. And I was like, have you seen Venom?
Have you seen Venom?
Yeah,
when he
okay,
does his
there you
first,
go.
when he does his third
You
punch,
hear
his butt gets bigger.
thunderclap
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah.
the clapping as he's going.
Have you
Listen,
seen
mine.
Captain America? That is, in my opinion, America's ass.
there you
Yeah.
go. So this is
Out
my
of
this is
control.
my whole point
Yeah.
is that if I looked as good as Nolan North, I wouldn't be on a video game
Troy
podcast.
Baker.
I would be in the arms of a multi-ethnic
If
girl
you look
that I
like
know.
if you look
All
like
right?
Nolan North,
Okay,
Yeah.
so
if you look like
it
Nolan
just-
North, we would actually want you on the podcast.
I was about to say, but I wouldn't be on it. I'd be too good.
That's
for
what I
it.
mean.
Too
We
good
will
for
want
it.
So
you.
when I think about beauty standards in video games, I say they're too beautiful. They're supposed to be appealing to a gamer audience,
Right.
not
You're
to.
saying men are too beautiful, women not beautiful enough.
I'm not even thinking about women in video games.
that doesn't
tracks.
surprise anyone.
If the point is that that's not on my radar. The point I'm making is that men in video games,
Right.
they're masculine, they're beautiful,
Yeah.
they're strong. I don't want that. Can you get some kind of emaciated, somewhat patchy bearded, long haired dandy on screen?
Yeah.
Play Dark Souls.
Let's do it.
I was about to say, if we could get that, I'd be okay with it. But I agree with you guys. It really, if the design intention matches well with the personality,
Yeah.
I think that's good. A lot of attitude for this punk lady in the new Naughty Dog game. I'm looking at that and I'm like, the design matches the personality and the rest of the look.
Well, but it can match the personality and the rest of the look and still be massively unappealing.
Yeah.
Like my example of the weird drippy monster I mentioned, that might have been every bit the intention, and their personality might be that of a drippy monster, and you might just not want to stare at a drippy monster for 20 hours.
See, that's the real question is that if you don't find it personally attractive, is that unappealing?
I wouldn't even say like attractive from a sexual standpoint. Like you don't find it appealing. You don't find Jabba the Hutt
I'm
appealing.
gonna tack onto your point that like in gaming, it's just an honest truth that there's a massive double standard when it comes to men and women,
Sure.
like
Absolutely.
male and female characters, because no one can just find like a good equilibrium. Like female characters, people are either complaining because they're not sexually attracted to the character, or they're complaining that the character is too sexual.
Yeah.
And it's just like Captain America is a good example. He's a super ripped guy in Marvel Rivals, or we'll use Venom because Venom has more of like a skin suit and not like armor. He's like a super ripped guy. He's sort of this exaggeration of the human physique, and then the female characters are also exaggerations of human physique. But because of the just inherent nature of women being more sexualized, people will talk about how the women are sexualized in the game and ignore the men in the game. So that's an example of the double standard leaning too far in the opposite direction, where people are talking about they're either critical or I think it's just
I don't think that it's
we
unfair.
need to find equilibrium.
Here's my thing: I don't think that it's unfair because
I think it's unfair to women that like.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think it's unfair to women.
Yeah.
So obviously. If you go on a message board and you look at complaints, most people are not complaining about, Arthur Morgan, right? That no one is going that scruffy guy, Arthur Morgan, he's too ugly. I don't want to play this game. I miss John Marston, a man
who
covered
is
covered in scars and sounds like a demon from hell, right? No one is complaining about those characters.
The weird one was people complaining recently about like the girl from Star Wars Outlaws. Like doing all these zoom ins on her face and being like,
she's pretty adorable. She's very
she's got a bit of a bony face, and I was like, yeah, she looks like people I know. She's supposed there's no romance,
the graphics in Star Wars. Outlaws.
But that's fine. But there wasn't that. They were like, oh, and here's the fixed version, and it looks like in the same graphics, still bad graphics.
They just use like AI to make her a
face
supermodel.
out, and it's like. Her face, humans
Silly.
don't all have round faces.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Some women have like bonier faces, and it's fine. It kind of looks roguish in her original version.
Yeah.
I'm like, it was what you were talking about. It matches the design. She's supposed to be
And
like
that
a
was the
smuggler rogue.
only thing wrong with that game.
That's-
that lady's face.
That is also the other thing is that I do
right.
think that it gets legitimate complaints often get overshadowed.
Exactly.
when we're talking
Sure.
About this.
I
Very
think
true.
we can just say to the gaming sphere at large, chill out.
Yeah,
out.
you
Just
bunch
chill
of-
It's
Take
not
it
that
easy.
big a deal.
Take it
not
easy.
that
Make
big a
all
deal.
your
Just chill out.
characters anthropomorphic animals so people
Please
will
don't.
stop talking about them.
Don't do that.
Please don't.
Only in Star Fox.
That's the only one
It's
I'll
only
I'll
acceptable.
accept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
guys.
All right.
Ethan, you want to close out, or you want me to close out?
It's up to you. It's your call.
Close out. Don't you both have topics, don't you?
That's what I mean.
Whoever goes
Who
now
wants to go
won't
next?
close out.
Yeah,
Devin
see?
phrased that incredibly confusingly.
Sure.
I will go.
Okay.
Guys, it's time.
It's time. Let's do it.
We have been teasing this since the Lost episodes in the morgue,
Yep.
where I said eventually I was going to bring this as my topic.
Yep.
Make all of you suffer.
Oh yeah.
We're going to talk about bad video games that are surprisingly fun,
Yep.
which means I'm going to talk about Lord of the Rings Conquest.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
A truly
It's over.
nightmarish dumpster fire of a video game
Yep.
that I have played so many times.
It's fun.
I want
It's
to play
so
it right
good.
now.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Every time you talk about it, I want to play it.
Yeah. And so I wanted to talk with you guys about your guys' games where like you love this game and you replay it, but you know it's bad.
Yeah.
You like know in your heart of hearts like it's a terribly made video game. It has all sorts of problems, and yet you think it's fun and would want other people to play it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like Lord of the Rings Conquest is
Yeah.
that for me.
Yeah.
What is it for you guys? We'll
I think we
circle back
should-
around to Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I was gonna
yeah.
say we'll mix it up and go back and forth, but
Yeah.
mine not. This has nothing to do with the fact that you brought up Lord of the Rings Conquest. This is legitimately what I would have said, regardless of what you say. But it's the Hobbit game on GameCube.
Yeah.
It's not like well made.
no, not
It's a
particularly.
platformer action game with sort of a bizarre art
Yeah.
style, but I love it. It's a very cozy game.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
very silly, And it might be. Is Devin about to make a bold statement? It might be the best adaptation of the book The Hobbit.
Oh,
Okay, that is a
yeah. It is actually it's pretty good at
I
it.
can't think of
The
anything
cartoons
else.
aren't very good.
There aren't
the
very good
movies aren't
ones.
very good.
The movies
Yeah.
miss the mark pretty
Yeah.
hard. Not necessarily poorly made, just miss the mark.
Yeah.
But the game has the cozy feel of The Hobbit, has the adventurous feel of The Hobbit, has the goofy feel of The Hobbit, and unlike The Hobbit that's masterfully crafted, the game is not masterfully crafted.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
Ty, what's yours?
All right. I'm gonna say something kind of controversial.
Is it a Lord of the Rings game?
I wish. Although I do have a very soft spot for that Hobbit game. I actually don't think it's like a bad game though. I actually think it's kind of I think it's average. Like it's not
That's true.
Pretty
Pretty
it's not
middling.
broken
Fits on the
for its
PlayStation 2.
Yeah, for its day and age, I
Yeah.
thought it was actually pretty decent. The Lord of the Rings game that same company made before it
The Fellowship.
was terrible.
Yeah, it's actually
But also wasn't fun to play.
but I don't like
It's
it. Yeah.
funny to watch the cutscenes from.
Yeah, it's great.
That's true.
Is that not the one where Sam gets killed
It
by
ends on Weathertop.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sam gets carried off by Nazgul?
By Nazgul.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
right.
incredible.
That is pretty funny. It's
incredible.
And that's how the game ends.
That's insane.
My
Yeah.
my
It's pretty funny.
game that's trash, but that I love to play is any given Star Trek game.
That is
They're
a
all
good
bad.
One. There's
and I love them all.
Elite Force 2.
So-
anyone?
No,
I was going to say Star
the-
Trek 2009.
the game I
Oh,
was
yeah,
actually
we need
going
to
to
finish
pick
that.
though is really obscure.
Okay.
It's a strategy game called Star Trek Deep Space Nine Dominion War.
I know the game.
It was not well made. It
Oh.
is super broken. The levels are pretty basic. It is. I have so much fun playing it. I don't know why.
Dominion Wars.
Dominion
Mhm.
War.
I
It's a
remember you
strategy
playing it a lot
game.
as a kid.
It's a strategy
right, on
game I
your
kept
PC?
playing as a kid, and I
Yeah.
revisited a few years ago. And as an adult, I was like, I'm having a good time, but I'm able to appreciate this was made in a weekend, and
Wasn't it based in the same engine as Orion Pirates?
No, I don't think so.
It's
Maybe.
it seems very similar, but you only have front and back shields. You don't have the four quadrants.
and it's like a more of a
Gotcha.
strategy game. You're
Yeah.
not in direct control of your ships. You have like 6
That's
ships.
right.
Right.
That's right.
And you're doing stuff. It was I had fun with it. The briefings have one of the actors from the shows read them. It's the only dialogue.
Yeah.
Everything else is just very slowly typed across the screen
Yeah.
Okay.
in big yellow font. But there's just something fun about the game. I don't know. I can't explain what it is. I loved you have different kinds of crew and you beam them over to enemy ships as you're fighting them. And you could, if you click the wrong button, you could beam your science team over to the enemy ship instead of your tactical team and get them all immediately
They're all
killed.
dead immediately.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
But
How do you feel about the fact that Ty stole your answer?
He didn't steal my answer because
Okay.
he chose
Incredible.
a different Star Trek game than I'm
Incredible.
going with.
Oh, you are going with the Star Trek.
I
game.
actually have two,
I
so-
almost went with
I have two
another
games.
game, which was Star Trek Echoes of Time, I think.
Okay.
Or no, wait. Which one was the side scroller? Is that
The
Echoes of
Deep Space
Time?
Nine one?
Yeah.
Deep Space Nine.
For the Sega Genesis?
Yes.
Something.
And Super Nintendo.
Something.
Yeah.
I think it was Echoes of Time.
I don't
It's
remember.
quite good.
Echo the Dolphin.
Echoes of
Echoes
Echoes
of
of Dolphin.
Star Trek. The
Which
Echo of the Dolphin.
that's news. That just got renewed.
The trademark.
The trademark. Just renewed for-
But
Ooh.
that I almost picked that one, but that one maybe isn't such a trash game.
I was
No.
gonna say,
I
don't
wanted
think
to
the
pick
game's bad.
one that was objectively no
Not
one was
good.
proud of this.
Sure.
Mhm.
Okay.
No one was happy with this. No one
Yeah.
thought that this was going to work, and it didn't
Yeah.
Well,
because no one bought it but me. And
Yeah.
you can't really find it anymore,
Not really, no.
and you can't buy it anywhere online anymore.
What's the
gotta
Deep
go on
Space
My
Nine game
Abandonware.
where it's a third person
Mm.
shooter?
The Fallen?
The Fallen. That's
The
it,
Fallen.
That one's pretty bad.
That one,
That,
I think is
I
all right.
think
that
that's
was
fine.
not bad.
Isn't
Yeah.
it like tank controls though?
No.
or-
No, it
never
plays like Elite Force.
Yeah, it's
Just
like a
worse.
third-person
Just worse.
shooter.
It's like worse Elite Force.
Okay.
But it's more Star
Oh.
Trek.
You
You
do-
actually scan things. and
Yes.
talk to people.
More of an adventure.
Well, and it
It's
has
more
more of a
like-
story because it is based on a novel, whereas like Elite Force is just more of an action
yeah,
game.
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, that's mine. It was this game. I should also mention about Dominion Wars. They bundled it with a game called the Starship Creator, where you built your own little starship, and then you
Oh,
could
yeah.
import it
That was really cool.
into
That is a-
Dominion
that's a cool
Wars.
detail.
That was cool.
It broke the game though because the ships you could make in Starship Creator were so
So
much
much
more
better.
powerful
Yeah,
right.
than anything you had in the game.
But
But Starship Creator absolutely doesn't work on computers anymore, so I could never make.
gotta get
Yeah.
some
I
retro
could never
hardware.
figure that one out.
Yeah. Which Star Trek game are you gonna?
So
say?
I have two picks. First, I'll go with the Star Trek game, which is Star Trek 2009.
We
which
played it
is
together.
Hilarious.
The game
Absolutely
is
hilarious.
The game is so funny that it's almost impossible to finish.
Yeah.
Just because you're laughing so hard. There's a section of the game where, because of solar flares, you have to hide behind these platforms.
Yep.
And if you don't, this solar wind will carry your incinerated bodies off into
I think
space.
I have a video of you getting incinerated. You were playing Spock, and you got incinerated, and Spock's limp body just flew through the air.
They ragdoll
like,
whenever you
space.
die.
Incredible.
And I remember me and Devin were playing, and when we got to that section, we died so many times because we were laughing until we cried. Both of us were in
I couldn't
tears.
see through the tears to get behind the solar
Because
flare.
every time Spock's lifeless corpse got carried off, we would think that this is a timeline in Star Trek anew, right? Where Spock got flown into space because he didn't hide fast enough.
Yeah.
we had to just pause the game because one time Quentin died, and it resets you when you die back to the beginning. But the ragdoll effect on Spock's right arm didn't go away. So it looked like that actually happened, and Spock is forever changed.
Spock just started twitching.
His limb is just flapping in the wind.
The game doesn't play well. It looks nightmarish.
Yeah.
It's this weird era where when they would try to put real actors in, right?
They would like photo scan them in.
It's like a weird photo scanned effect, but it looks like a 2009 attempt at photorealism.
Yeah.
And so like Spock's lifeless, expressionless face is so scary as Spock is like murdering people, right? As you're like choking people to death, right? Spock is just like.
So like the movies.
You know,
like the movies. Zachary Quinto.
You know, the story is ridiculous. It's a terrible Star Trek story.
Just like the 2009 movie.
Yeah, at least there's that. But overall, the game is very fun. The game, occasionally, the models will glitch inside themselves. I believe that I glitched inside of Kirk while spinning around, and I said that we've morphed into the perfect human, right? It's just a really funny game.
Yeah,
so
incredible.
I'm going to say Star Trek 2009 is my first one. The second one I'm going to say real quick is the game The Amazing Island on the GameCube.
Oh, I remember that.
Which is a game where you create monsters on an amazing island. It's pretty cozy.
Alpharad did an entire run of it. It was really cool.
It's pretty cozy. The game is pretty fun.
Made by Sonic Team. Yeah.
If you've got nostalgia for it, it's pretty fun. Otherwise, honestly, it's not very well put together. They're so play Pokemon Arena or something like that, and that's a much better game. But this has this early 2000s weird Sega jank. You're making monsters. They look horrible. It plays pretty poorly, but it's cozy and fun.
Yeah.
So
tell us all about Lord of the Rings Conquest. They kicked this whole thing off.
Here's the thing about Lord of the Rings Conquest. Yeah. It was the death of the studio that made Battlefront.
Yeah.
So
Pandemic.
Pandemic was handed this game. They were said, do what you did for Star Wars, but for Lord of the Rings. And they come up with this idea. And it's supposed to look like Battlefront. Everyone's supposed to be kind of blocky, and there's supposed to be these giant battlefields, and the maps are supposed to be huge. And then the company just keeps giving them more and more requirements of it has to have better graphics, the models have to be better, it has to be this and that, and it just bankrupts them. And so the game just they put out a working version, but the game never gets finished.
Right.
And there are so many things in this game that are so terrible. Like you're supposed to have whenever you're expending your energy bar to do heavy stronger attacks.
Yeah.
Your heavy one is supposed to be a guard breaker, but they forgot to give that to Faramir, so he can't break guards. So the tiniest enemy in the game can just sit there holding their guard infinitely, and he can never break it.
Can't do anything.
If you select Faramir as a hero, you will run into a crowd of orcs, start swinging your sword. They will all block you and then beat you to death.
You know,
it's actually kind of perfect.
That's kind of perfect.
Hobbits
are assassins
on on one map, and so they can pick up any human-sized enemy and like put them on their knee and stab them.
They can kill Sauron.
Sauron doesn't count as a giant for some reason, so he's walking around towering, and then suddenly the camera just zooms back and he's flailing, and he's like an assassin, like stab.
He's being laid across a hobbit's knee and stabbed in the crotch, which is such a great way for this story to end.
It's so funny, right?
Why didn't Tolkien think of that?
Why didn't Tolkien think of that?
It's not. It only has 4. Like you have when you're not playing as a hero, you're playing as one of 4 like soldier classes, like a fighter, an archer, an assassin, or a wizard.
Yeah.
And the wizard is unbelievably strong, but has no ability to move around or defend himself from like melee. And so in a way, everybody's so broken that it just is a nightmare to try and fight anyone. So it just gets the one everyone thinks is like the best is the wizard when you start, because you're like, oh, the wizard's just OP, it kills everyone. But then you realize that like, wait a minute, the fighter has all these insane things too, and the assassin can sneak up behind you.
He's really only good against archers because they can't shoot him.
He's really only, he's like only a super counter to archers. But because everything's insane and nothing's built right, it's kind of fun to just play like the versus mode multiplayer and just shoot arrows at each other and throw fireballs.
It's so goofy.
Get stabbed to death by Frodo. It's so insane that it winds up being like circling back around and being really fun somehow.
Yeah.
And it's like the second you take it seriously, it will fall apart. It's not a good game. It's so bad. But there's something just really satisfying about, no one can say like, oh man, the character you're playing is so broken. You're like, yeah, it's Lord of the Rings Conquest. Everything's broken. Faramir's over there losing a fight to a hobbit, and like someone picked the Balrog, and it has no weaknesses for some reason. It's just completely an invincible hero.
It's like the urban playground. It was not. Its design is not fun. No. Goofing around with your friends and being stupid in it is super fun.
Right. The second you bring dart guns to the playground, like the Nerf guns, it's super fun. But going down the slide that's 4,000 degrees isn't.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's Lord of the Rings Conquest. It was just, we would get like a LAN party going. We'd start playing this terrible game.
It'd just be goofy
just like,
I have very fond memories of LAN parties.
The strangest things would happen. They made really weird design decisions. Like all of Aragorn's,
the game doesn't look good.
All of Aragorn's heavy attacks are ghosts.
Yeah,
all of them.
Doesn't matter which era you're in. They're all ghosts.
The mouth of Sauron's a wizard, but he can't do no wizarding. Orcs just appear out of the air to do things for him.
It's crazy.
It's bonkers.
It's so funny.
It's so bonkers. And just the fact, it also goes back to what you said about Star Trek, where the rag dolls are funny.
Yeah.
Seeing Saruman get kicked out of his window and go spinning all the way down is one of the funny. I laughed so hard at that game.
Yeah,
so
good.
I just wound up playing it over and over again.
Plus, the whole game you get to hear the ghost of Hugo Weaving inform you of what's going on. You're right. It was actually Hugo Weaving.
Yeah,
it was. I don't know how they got him for that game.
I don't know. He's not happy about it.
No, clearly, he will not admit to it.
He's not happy about anything. He's definitely not happy about that.
Oh, good topic.
All right, guys, we're gonna close out topic of the week. I don't mind if you shave a few minutes off me, Rachel. We just talked about in the new Mario Kart, Donkey Kong's looking kind of. It's like, Donkey Kong, you okay over there? Like his redesign's really cool, but he's also staring like Cranky just told him he's adopted. Like he's got that deadpan. No, so that got me thinking. Can we talk about Nintendo's weirdest franchise? Donkey Kong.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Star Fox.
Well, no, because
Star Fox isn't weird enough.
Star Fox is an offshoot that, like, you know, it was a new thing on the Super Nintendo experiment. Donkey Kong is, you know, the game where Mario appeared and that put, you know, Shiggy Momo on the map, Shigeru Miyamoto.
Yeah, love to have you on the podcast, Shigeru.
So you would, of course, you know, Donkey Kong would have nice regular releases and everything. Wrong. No, the last one was 2014.
What are you talking about? There's a brand new Donkey Kong game out right now.
It's a remake, bro. HD.
It's not a remake.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think is next for Donkey Kong? Because
the grave.
Nothing. Yeah, I was gonna say there's nothing.
I think this past November was 30 years since Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah. Because
30 years ago they handed Donkey Kong off to a British studio.
Yeah.
And ever since they've never really taken him back. So what's next?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Nothing. There's nothing. No, they handed Retro Donkey Kong, and with Tropical Freeze, they made the greatest Donkey Kong game that they could have made, right?
Yeah.
Because everything Retro makes is perfect. They made an incredible Donkey Kong game.
Yeah.
Okay? They've peaked. Every time... No, this is the problem. Every time they peak, they are terrified to release anything else. Yeah. So the most that we will get is something identical to Tropical Freeze. We maybe will get another retro game if we're lucky. I don't even think that's going to happen. Because if you look at how Nintendo does things, they hit a peak and then they release the exact same thing every time. They cannot release another Zelda game. Okay? They cannot release a different Zelda game. They're going to release... What? No, think about it. They're going to release Breath of the Wild again and again and again.
I don't think so.
They were never going to release...
Twilight Princess
a totally
was
different game.
so successful, and then they made Skyward Sword.
Wow, I have one counter to that. I have one counter to that, is that Twilight Princess was super successful, and the console it came out on was called the GameCube, and the next console was called the Wii.
Right.
Breath of the Wild was really successful. Tears of the Kingdom, really successful. And the next console is called the Switch 2. Yeah, they might just be we're doing numbers now, guys.
And we know that that this is a trilogy. They're making another Breath of the Wild sequel.
Yeah, sure. I think it's even
more. Already said they've moved. They're not going to make it in the Breath of the Wild world. The next game.
We'll see.
No, he specifically said that it wouldn't use the same map.
Nope, he said it won't be in that same world. He's like, the next one will come up.
We'll
with
see if it's a traditional Zelda game. Is the point?
It won't be traditional, but So you think that they're gonna maybe do Donkey Kong Country again, but nothing.
Maybe they'll do something identical to Tropical Freeze at best, but I don't think they're going to give us anything because we want a Donkey Kong game, we want a Star Fox game, and they don't like us. Here on the Power Up Brothers podcast, we don't have a good working relationship
was
with
as
them.
positive as ever. Yeah, hopeful. Yeah,
I think Kyle Bossman. Weird that he talked about this week.
Yeah,
he specifically made a bet with his audience last week that that there would be a new 3D Donkey Kong game for the Switch 2 within its first year, or he would put Seth Rogen laughing as Donkey Kong at the end of every one of his videos for an entire year.
Great.
And if he won, he gets to buy himself the Donkey Kong Lego set that he didn't buy because he said it was too much money.
That's cool.
So that's a great bet. But I think he might be right.
Really?
Because I don't think he would risk. No, he would.
He would.
But I think I think we're due for a maybe not a fully 3D Donkey Kong like Donkey Kong 64, but I think we're due for a mix-up. At least a Jungle Beat, but maybe a 64.
Was 64 the last 3D Donkey Kong game?
It was the only 3D Donkey Kong.
It's the only and last.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a 3D Donkey Kong game, maybe as a collaboration between Nintendo and Microsoft and Rare.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be dope.
Except stay away from Microsoft.
Well, this is a difficult subject for me because I feel like I'm trying to be very optimistic about the future of Nintendo, but I've said before that the last half of the Switch's life feels like Nintendo in retreat, where it's like they put out fewer games and they make safer decisions, and then they...
Pretty typical for the end of any console's life. Yeah.
Pretty typical.
Lots of remakes.
Like the Wii ends with the most different Zelda game we've ever gotten.
That's true. Skyward Sword was weird.
Skyward Sword is super weird. And in that last half, we also get Donkey Kong Country Returns. Like Nintendo starts doing some weird stuff.
That was 2010.
Yeah. But we get a little the whole gaming industry feels like a lot of it in retreat. And Nintendo has had some signs that might have just been them in retreat because they're kind of marshaling a little bit. They're like, we've got all these ideas that we don't want to spend on the end of the Switch. We want to have the Switch 2 have a really strong launch quarter, right? The first 2 years, 3 years of the Switch 2, we want it to be really strong.
Yeah.
And so there's been some signs that that's what we're getting. The
something
3DS,
crazy.
The 3DS ended with a Fire Emblem remake that was they went 150%.
My favorite Fire Emblem.
Yeah, probably my favorite Fire Emblem game as well. I think I want to believe that they are not just going to endlessly make safe decisions. I want to believe that we are on the cusp of really daring, innovative stuff. Yeah. And when you pointed out that Donkey Kong and the other racers look like they're Super Nintendo versions.
Yeah.
And that there does seem to be this like throwback to like
Very
it was the
cartoony.
Switch and the Switch 2 because it was the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo, right?
Exactly.
Like,
I agree.
I think they are trying to go for that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And the Super Nintendo was a bunch of bold, crazy stuff and tons of it.
Less creative in the name so that the games can be more creative.
Exactly.
Which I'm a big supporter of.
I think you might be right. I think we might be
3D.
due for a 3D Donkey Kong game.
Yeah.
I think at the same time, I wonder about a 2D Donkey Kong game, just a straight up one more of the 2D.
Yeah.
Unless Retro needs to finish Prime, and then we'll see what
They'll
they
pick
do.
it back up,
Whatever Retro gets their hands on next.
Yeah.
If it's Retro, it's probably another tropical freestyle.
Like Donkey Kong
If it's
Country
not,
game.
if it's something a little more daring, I think we're at the timeline where that would make sense.
Sure.
If it had come to NSO, I'd be more confident. If Donkey Kong 64 had, it's a
It
shocking.
needs to, yeah.
Like the one thing everyone loves about that game is the multiplayer.
Yeah.
Like the multiplayer was good in
Yeah,
Donkey
it's so
Kong
much fun,
64.
yeah.
It's fun. It's simple. It's very GoldenEye-esque.
Mm-hmm.
It's shocking that it's not there. If it was there, I'd be more confident in saying agree with that. But I feel like I need to see. Are we in the era of daring Nintendo, or was the retreat the pattern? The like we're just gonna make games that we know are gonna be good. and sell
Between
well.
them like really highlighting the fact that they redesigned Donkey Kong and really wanting fans to know like this is a big deal.
Yeah.
Miyamoto specifically said this is the first time we've redesigned him since 1994 when Rare redesigned him. Almost kind of like signaling like we handed, they made Donkey Kong 3 and then just didn't make any Donkey Kong games for years.
Yeah.
Then handed it to Rare and said, famously
something.
Miyamoto said, Donkey Kong's my baby, please be good to him. Like he was nervous about someone and they did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
But
The best.
But then after that, it was sort of like Nintendo, especially because it was Miyamoto saying like, we're bringing Donkey Kong back into the fold of in-house Nintendo. Look, we redesigned him. We put an entire Universal Studios world as Donkey Kong themed.
Yeah.
Kit Ellis from Kit and Krista really thought that was strange.
Yeah.
Because he was like, Donkey Kong doesn't have much presence in the gaming landscape as his own games, and yet I really feel like they're winding up.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting ready to
Like
just
Donkey Kong.
they're winding up like Donkey Kong.
Arms too?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
didn't they have a fighting thing in
Jungle
Beat has the
Jungle
like
Beat?
yeah.
Oh,
especially when in the Wii version you kind of punch the
is that?
the
Oh, or
evil
maybe
Kongs.
you know what?
Was Donkey Kong in Punch Out?
I think maybe
he was
I'm-
in Punch Out, yeah.
Maybe I am thinking of just
Donkey Kong in Punch Out.
no. I was going to say Country, where you do this to beat
Country
up the
Returns and
Country
Tropical
Returns
Freeze.
and Tropical
Yeah,
Freeze.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
beat 'em up.
Yeah, so I think there something big is coming
Yeah.
in the
I hope
Donkey
so.
Kong space.
I think so.
I think it's going to look different. I think it's going to feel
Will
different.
he be voiced by Seth Rogen?
I hope so.
I hope
Oh,
not.
God.
I'm going to do my best Seth Rogen laugh. You ready?
Okay.
It's pretty good.
That's
Not bad.
yeah. I mean, it's terrible that it because it sounds like just nails on a chalkboard to my
Yeah.
ears.
Yeah.
That's
like a badger
means he,
giving
means he
birth.
nailed it.
Really,
That's odd. I don't like that
Yeah.
you're right, but you
Yeah,
are
no.
right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. It's time for a classic Power Up Brothers game.
Oh my God.
Topic of the week. No, wait, we already did that.
No, we're going to play the gaming version of 20 Seconds.
Yeah.
It's called...
20 questions.
what
Well
did I
done.
say?
You messed it
20
up. Retake it.
seconds.
Reset. Back
Here we
to
go.
the thing.
Fine.
The
You got
gaming
it.
version of 20 Seconds. Oh, no, I messed up again. It's the gaming version of 20 Questions, which is called 64 Questions. All right, guys, welcome to 64 Questions, a power-up take on 20 questions. Did I say seconds again?
No, you were
No,
good.
you got it.
You got it.
Okay.
You got
You
it
did
this
it.
time.
Good job. We're
all
so
right, so
proud
the
of
way
you,
this works
Ethan.
is that welcome to the Mushmouth Podcast. We all have characters that you can see right here.
Oh my
We don't
God.
know who our own character is.
what my character is.
And we have to ask the other three players yes or no questions
Yeah.
to determine which character we are.
Are we banning any questions?
Oh, yeah.
What?
No.
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 No,
It
no.
is
No.
long.
It's a yes
As long
or no
as it's
question.
yes or no.
If it's yes or no, and don't be too nice to everybody. If they ask a question that the yes or no doesn't really help them, just say yes or no.
Yeah.
The other
that's
thing
fair.
too is if you take a stab at it, if you say "Am I Mario?" and it turns out you're not, you get skipped.
you get skipped by it for
So
a
that's the
round.
penalty. You
Okay.
can't just sit there and go, "Am I Mario? Am I Luigi? Am I?" You can't do that.
Yeah, you can't
okay,
do that.
you guys ready to play?
All right.
All right. Check your characters. We're starting with the first round. See
Okay.
if we have time for the second. Okay.
Who goes first?
We'll start over there. We'll go this way.
All right.
Ethan, start with your first yes or no question.
Is my character a man?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I forgot to look at Ethan's. Okay.
Good lord. Am I a man?
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
No.
What's going on?
Are we saying man as in male?
Yeah. Clarify. Are you male?
Yeah.
Are you saying man as in a human
Yeah.
man?
Yeah. No, male.
Male.
Boy or
Yes.
girl?
You're
Male.
male.
Yes.
Boy. Okay, got it. Not a human. I got that now.
Well, yeah. That was sort
Well,
of. We couldn't quite agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're male. See, we said that's not being nice.
I think it's less
What are you
helpful than
doing?
you thought it was.
Well, you all
Yeah.
said different answers, and that's definitely
yeah,
not
that's
allowed.
We split the group.
Yeah, we
I
split the
group.
group.
I got a point.
Hey,
Yeah,
What
right.
are they doing?
Okay, yeah.
Am I human?
No.
Everybody's got to check.
No, you're not.
Do you agree? No. Okay.
No, you're
Quentin.
Am I a male?
I think so.
Yes.
Okay. Ethan, back to you.
Am I in Smash Bros. Ultimate as
Yes.
a playable
Yeah.
character?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
That narrows it down to 80
anyone
different people.
does.
Yep.
Am I in Smash Bros. Melee as a playable character?
Yes.
Yes, you are. That narrows it down way better.
Am I in Smash Bros. Melee as a playable character?
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
I got you.
Am I in Smash Bros. Melee as a playable character?
No.
Oh.
No.
All right,
Oh
Ethan.
man, wasted that.
Am I in
question.
Smash Bros. Melee as a playable character?
No.
Haha! That
does narrow it down. You're right.
Narrows it down
again.
a little
Am
bit.
I from the Star Fox video game series?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so let me
You
go
wish.
over my questions real quick. I am human.
Yep.
I'm in.
No, you're not human.
I'm not human.
We said no.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
That's correct.
I'm pulling a Rachel. I'm not human, and I'm playable in Super Smash Brothers Melee.
That is correct.
Correct.
Am I pink?
No.
Okay.
You get skipped.
No, I didn't
Pink
say a
is not a
character.
I don't know why I was thinking of Peach.
Am I the singer?
Peach.
Am I the
Pink?
singer Pink? Yeah, you
Yeah.
are. You kissed a girl and you liked it.
That's Katy Perry.
That's
Was it?
close,
Yeah.
What did
Yeah,
Pink sing?
you sure don't know nothing.
Don't listen
You
to
like
these
your-
guys.
you
Even
lack
I
a
know
pop
that.
culture show.
Even I knew that one.
Guys.
Let me think here. Am I a character from a game that I play? Or
Yes.
that I'm into?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Am I from the Mario series?
No.
No. Am I from The Legend of Zelda?
No. Am I from the Mario series?
Yes. Is my character a child?
No.
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 Definitely not.
Okay.
Stop saying definitive things. Just say yes or no.
Definitely not.
Definitely not a child.
Go.
Not allowed around children. I don't know what I'm saying.
Okay.
Do you need to go
Is
over
my
your
character?
points? Oh, you're gonna take a stab?
No.
Oh,
It's am I a DLC character?
no.
No.
Okay.
Am I from the Mario Brothers series?
Yes.
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 All right, guys. I'm gonna take a stab here because I'm
All right.
not a human. I'm a playable character in Melee, and I'm. What was my other
From
one?
Mario.
You're from Mario.
I'm from Mario. Am I the King Koopa Bowser?
Yes.
Yeah.
You got
I
it.
won. All right. You guys got to fight for second place.
Am I from the Metal Gear Solid series?
No.
Okay. Not a child. What games am I into that don't involve children or espionage? Okay.
Am I in Smash Brothers Brawl?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Wait. Oh yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that narrowed it down.
I don't know why my brain blanked out there.
Do
yes.
I wear red?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. All right. That was
That's
great
buffering.
podcast content. All of our audio listeners are like, "What's
see,
going
this is
on?"
difficult. I'm not a child, and I'm
no one
not from Metal Gear Solid, so that eliminates Earthbound and Metal Gear Solid, which are the only two games that I'm a fan of.
We never said there's no children. We said your character's not a child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I from Legend of Zelda?
You sure are.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm excited.
So I was not in Melee,
No.
but I am in
Brawl.
Brawl.
Mhm.
You're not a human.
I'm not a human.
You're male. You're a playable character in Ultimate and Brawl.
I'm not a male.
No,
You
you're
are
male.
male.
No,
That was
yeah,
all. That was all you asked.
yeah,
It was
you.
the question of whether you were human or male, and we've said that the answer is your character is male.
Yes.
So that's all you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your character is male.
I'm going to take a stab.
Oh,
Okay.
here he goes.
Am I Ike from Fire Emblem?
You are not.
No.
Ah.
And I'm so sorry. We just told you you're not human.
Huh?
Yeah,
I
you're
thought you
not.
said the
Wait,
only thing
no.
was a
He
male.
didn't. No. It was Ty that asked if he was not human.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Well, you
Quinn-
got a,
yeah,
you
Quinn
got a
just told-
freebie there.
No,
You're
no.
not
The
human.
only thing. Yeah, the only thing
You
you
got a
heard was
freebie
that
there.
Devin's
Alright.
just
Okay.
doesn't
Cool.
know.
I already
Uh,
won. I don't care. I'll tell
I'm
you all who your
Gonna
characters are.
take a stab at this.
Here he
so
goes.
let me see what I know. I'm a boy.
You are.
I am probably not human because you guys were real vague on that.
I can't remember.
I am
who
playable
it
in Super Smash Bros. Melee.
is. Sure.
You are.
I I wear red,
Yep.
and I'm from the Super Mario series.
Yep.
Yes.
This is tough.
I know.
This is real hard.
I know. They really gave you a
Ah.
hard ball with this one.
Am I Super Mario?
You are not.
No.
No.
All right. So you guys both get skipped.
So Quinn gets two
Quinn gets
questions.
two questions.
Or-
Quinn gets two questions because he's the only player left. Unless he takes a stab, gets it wrong, he'll get skipped over his
So
second one, and
funny.
we're right back.
I
I recommend asking a clarifying question before you take a stab.
Am I a main character?
No.
No.
Okay.
You can review your answers if you need to. We get kind of lost in the sauce sometimes.
Am I Tingle?
Oh, he got it.
got it.
Nailed
He
it.
got it. Second
Second
place.
place.
Nailed it.
All right, so we
Impressive.
skip Ethan because he missed it, and then we skip you because you missed it, and then we're back to Ethan.
So I am a
gonna
not
do this.
human
Yes,
male character.
right.
It was not playable in Melee,
Nope.
but is playable in Brawl.
Yep.
My Diddy Kong.
You
No.
are not. Oh my
Another
god.
stab. You get two
I
questions.
hate you. Okay? You guys are dirty, and you
Yeah.
gave me a trick question. I'm Donkey Kong, you donkeys.
You're not.
You're
Donkey
not Donkey Kong either. Oh my god.
No, you're not Donkey Kong.
He is a character that appears.
All right,
in,
Ethan got it wrong.
I'm
so
from
you
the
get
Mario
skipped,
series.
and you got it wrong, and you get
And
skipped.
I get skipped,
and
so
then
it's back to
Ethan.
Ethan.
Am I okay? Let me think. Playable in Brawl, but not playable in Melee.
I think I got it.
Yeah, you must have gotten it.
I think you figured it out. But Ethan's got a chance.
Ethan's
to
got a
get
chance. You
third
got
place.
this, Ethan.
I feel like it must have been. This is a tricky one.
It is. There's a lot that could
Because,
be the.
yeah.
I'm
the
gonna go
correct
back
answer.
in the recording. I think you asked a question that you forgot.
Yeah. You're not a DLC.
So I'm not DLC in Ultimate,
No,
but I'm in
You're in
Brawl,
You're in
and I'm
Brawl.
not in Melee.
you're not in Melee.
So I must be one of the new characters from Brawl.
Okay.
Couldn't be DLC in Ultimate.
Nope.
Mhm.
You remember the new
you're-
characters in Brawl?
You're following the right track here.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, Ultimate doesn't have any Brawl characters as DLC.
No,
such as all
it doesn't.
regular characters.
Correct.
So it's down to I think just Wolf or Lucas are the only two
Okay.
who were from. No, isn't King Dedede is playable in
He's playable in
Yeah,
Brawl.
he's in
yeah.
Brawl.
Yeah.
Wolf's playable in Brawl. Falco's in Melee,
Yep.
so it can't be Falco.
You've really narrowed it down. I mean,
Yeah, you're
I
talking
guess
about all
I guess
You-
Wolf, Star Wolf.
Is that your guess?
Yeah.
yeah,
You got it.
Oh, okay.
And
Sorry.
I'm Yoshi.
Yoshi.
Yeah.
Good job.
He doesn't wear red. He has a red shell.
Yeah.
He has a
That's a
red
saddle.
and he does
Yeah.
wear it.
It is an
a
accessory,
That
sir.
is a saddle,
Yeah.
and it is red.
Yeah, we got him. We got him.
job.
boys.
Y'all are so mean.
Yeah. All right. So
I can't believe you got Tingle. That was really
I
good.
know. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
sir. Yeah.
Yeah, second place. It's
Yeah, I was amazed you got
Not
Tingle.
bad.
Yeah.
Not bad. You
Well,
get
when,
silver
the second I
trophy.
was like, not a main character, but someone that I could feasibly guess. I was
Yes.
like, it's
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
be Tingle.
You guys ready for round 2?
We got that.
Yes.
Do it. The closer. Oh yeah, I forgot to ask Rachel.
Do we have time?
Okay, okay.
All right.
I don't even care.
Let's start this time with Quentin. We'll go this way now.
Okay.
Let me get all the characters. Okay. Yeah, I got it.
All right. Am I from the Metal Gear Solid series?
No. Am I from the Super Mario series?
No.
I didn't assume I would get 2.
Am I playable in Super Smash Brothers Brawl?
No.
No. Is my character a human?
No.
Nope.
Okay.
Back to Quentin.
Is my character from the Earthbound series?
No.
Nope. All right. Am I male?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Am I female?
No.
No.
We weren't gonna give it to you that easy. You got Samus in 3 guesses.
Yeah, we learned.
I did.
Am I a Nintendo character?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Mhm. Is my character? See, the trouble here is that I ask, is it from a game series that I'm into, and you all said yes in reference to Legend of Zelda, but that did not narrow things down at all when you said
Yeah,
it.
we're not. We're gonna say yes or no. We're not gonna be
Yeah.
super specific.
Is my character? Wait, no, I already said it. Is it from Earthbound? Okay. Is it from a series that I like?
Yes.
That I'm into?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Still
Am I
not Metal Gear
human?
Solid.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
There
I'm
are
human.
only 2 series of games that I'm
Am I-
into.
That
Okay.
you're really into.
That I'm really. I'm only.
But like
into-
Legend of Zelda counted because you had played it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are into this.
Yeah,
yeah.
you play a lot of Legends.
Play a lot of
Yeah.
games. You played the Wind Waker. You
I
played.
have
You
played
love
the Wind Waker.
Majora's
You played
Mask where
Tingle's
Tingle showed up.
You played
Yeah.
Tingle's
It is-
Rosy Rupee Land.
Of course.
Right. All right, go, Ty.
Am I a Nintendo character?
No.
No, you are
You
not.
guys decided to give me hard mode.
I know.
Yeah, you are not a Nintendo.
So my first question was
Yeah.
human,
Yeah.
Right.
which was no,
Right.
right?
And then your
Right.
second question was Nintendo character, which was yes.
It was no character. Is my character playable in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate?
Yes.
Did I already ask if my character was an adult? Or was that?
No,
that was
you
my
did
turn.
not.
Is my character an adult?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me review mine real quick. I'm not from Mario. I'm human and I'm a boy.
Yes.
Am I a Nintendo character?
No.
Ooh.
You also have hard mode.
I know.
Am
I'm a human
I?
though, so it's pretty easy.
Am I from the Metal Gear Solid series?
No. Apparently everybody has hard mode. Go, Ethan.
Is my character a mammal?
No. No, he's not.
Ethan may have just gotten really far along.
He's not.
All right.
Is my
Crooked
character from
mammal.
Donkey Kong?
Yeah,
Yes.
sure is. All right. So I'm not a Nintendo character. I'm a human male. I'm gonna take a guess here. Not a guess at the character. Am I from Halo?
No. Am I from a Square Enix game?
No.
Wait, what order does this go in?
It's going this
We're
way.
going
Going
this
that
way.
way. We started
Oh,
with
we went.
you.
Okay,
went
we're
the
going.
other way.
Okay, gotcha.
Am I perhaps Piranha Plant?
You are not.
And you get
That is
skipped.
that is
Oh,
a good
no.
guess. However,
That's a good
That is
guess.
a very good guess.
Am I one of the main? Wait a minute. No, hold on. Am I playable in Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze?
Yes.
Yes.
zeroing in, and I am lost out here. I feel like me and you are both lost.
No, I got nothing.
You and Ty are really.
Okay, let's see. I'm
Why
not
did
a
they?
Nintendo character.
You gave him hard mode.
I'm a human. I'm not a Nintendo character.
It narrows it down so much.
Am I from? Am I in a game made by Square Enix?
No.
We're doomed. So let me refresh what I know. I'm a boy.
Yep.
I am a human.
Not human.
No, I'm not human. I am not a Nintendo character, a Square Enix character.
Nope.
I am not in Super Smash Brothers Brawl.
Correct.
And that's what I know.
You're not a Square Enix character.
I'm not human.
No, that's Devin is the one asking.
Also
Right.
Ty.
Am I a Capcom character?
No. No. All right, Ethan took a guess, so he skipped.
Is my character male?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm really lost out here.
You think you're lost?
I need to start playing. Rachel wrote my character, so I need to start playing Rachel. But I'm amazed that
And I forgot what it was.
she.
It'll be a surprise to me.
I'm
Too.
amazed that she knew a character that wasn't Nintendo.
Okay.
That's
Oh,
still
honey, I
thing me.
googled.
That you Googled.
I typed in video game characters.
Oh, okay. Am I from a Sony game?
Be more specific.
Like a game made by Sony Interactive?
No.
Okay.
Let's see. Am I from a Sony game?
No. We and Ty are going to be here till midnight trying to figure out who each other is. Ethan's back.
All right, so here's the problem. I'm fairly certain Quentin knows his character.
Yep.
Now.
I might. I mean, I have to pick from. I have a 1 in 5 chance right now, I believe.
Yeah.
Or
1
sorry,
in 4.
1 in 4.
Playable characters.
Of playable characters from Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
So I know it's not Piranha Plant.
Right.
It's a non-human, non-mammal character.
Right.
In Smash Brothers.
Yep.
I think there's only one other one.
Okay.
But when I say it, I'm gonna be skipped around. I'm gonna sit for 2 rounds.
You could ask just like a question.
Who is it then?
You could ask.
Is there only one? Wait, what did you say?
I'll
So
throw
I
you a
already
bone
said-
and say, Ty, ask, am I a bounty hunter? Just to sort of like
Just
ask
to
without
zero
asking.
it in.
Yeah, but see, here's
If
the
you
thing.
like second place,
So you don't get skipped.
I think there's only 2 other non-humans,
Okay.
non-mammals
Okay.
in Smash Brothers.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. I think Rob
I mean, I can't give that to you.
and
but,
Dark Samus might be the only 2 other. Well, no, I guess there's some lizards.
I was about to say I literally can't answer this, but it's right. Lizards aren't mammals.
You're on a good
You know
track,
what?
I guess.
Lizards
so.
aren't mammals, but I can't.
Listen,
Say
this
that
is the Power Up Bros podcast.
That's right.
I'm not here to win.
Not the Little Baby Cowards podcast.
Yeah.
Am I King K. Rool?
You are not King.
I'm fine being
King
skipped.
K. Rool.
then.
Okay. Go, Quentin.
Am I Funky Kong?
You're Funky
Funky
Kong.
Kong.
That's why I had.
Got
That's
it.
why I had to take a stab.
You had to take a
You
step.
got it.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay,
And you guys are never gonna
sakes.
figure it out, so I can go through
Goodness
all the
sakes.
non-mammals.
Human man from a not Nintendo game,
Correct.
Not a Sony game.
not a Sony game.
Was made by Sony Interactive. Wasn't made by Square Enix.
Yeah, right.
Gosh.
You've learned nothing. You've learned nothing so far.
Functionally.
Am I from a Naughty Dog game?
No. No, you cannot continue
I would
to go
have.
through
I would have given you
studios.
Sony.
You-
I would have given you Sony.
You would
If
have
you'd said
oh,
Sony.
okay,
I would have
okay.
given you Naughty
They're-
Dog.
They publish
Um,
it, but yeah.
No,
they,
it
do,
was-
they do own Naughty Dog.
Am I? Oh my gosh.
What are you looking at me for?
Am I owned by Xbox?
No.
No.
We're never,
This is-
You guys
Ethan
are never
gets
gonna
skipped
get
and it's back to me.
Oh my God.
Okay, let's see.
You guys gave me impossible mode.
Am I like a regular person? As in not super powered?
Yes.
No.
What? No?
Well, no, not. No, not really.
Okay, so it's up
You're
for
not.
debate.
You're not.
Debatable whether you're super powered.
Debatable. I
Yeah.
would say. I would say that you are not a regular person.
You're not. Well, he said
I
super
would
powered.
have said
Yeah.
no.
I'm not a regular guy.
You're not a regular.
I would say
Okay.
no, but questionable. Okay.
All right, go.
You're learning nothing.
Yeah.
No,
I've exhausted. I've gone broad with it and been turned down every
right.
Just keep going through game companies. There's
keep
only
going through
a
game
couple.
companies. There's only a few dozen more. Am I a Ubisoft character?
No.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Ask a question about the character.
Yeah.
I think asking the question of what studio is not going to help you. Ask questions about the
Yeah,
character.
we got to give up on the studio grind.
All right, Devin. Wait.
No, Ethan.
No,
gets
Ethan.
to go.
Sorry.
We skipped you
Ethan.
once.
So I'm in Smash Bros. Not a human.
Right.
Not a mammal.
Not a mammal.
Right. Amazing podcast content.
Yeah,
This
I'm
is really
so
nice.
lost on like
Yeah.
what other than
My suggestion is refine your criteria.
Stop stabbing. and,
Because
Of
right
what
now
it
you know
is.
you're not a mammal.
Ask
Right.
about franchises within the Smash roster.
But because right now you know all you know is you're not a mammal, which limits it to lizards and non-human entities, right?
Right.
Like you said, that is not. That's like
yeah,
that's
just
still like
narrowing it
6
down.
Yeah.
I
characters.
recommend narrowing it down.
Okay. Is my character
You've got second place locked down, so just keep asking questions.
Me and Ty are battling for third over here.
is my character a living creature?
No.
No.
You know who it is.
Yeah.
You know who it is. Don't
Okay,
worry. Just
okay,
wait till it
Ty.
gets back around to you.
I'm gonna just take a stab.
unless
Here
they
we
pull out a
go.
miracle.
No. Does my character use a gun?
Yes.
Like most characters in video games. Is my character a mammal?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ethan.
Is my character Rob?
You're Rob.
Yeah.
Robotic
Second
optical
place.
buddy.
Cool.
Okay. So
Very
the
nice.
battle for third begins.
Here we go.
All right.
I use a gun. I'm a human.
Yes.
Should we give them each like
A
some
hint?
sort of like
No.
narrow?
No.
I don't want
No,
it.
no,
I
let's
don't
see if
want
we
it.
can
This
banter.
podcast can go on forever. Devin will edit this
Am I
down.
from the
competitive
Persona
nature.
series?
No.
No.
No. Am I blue?
No.
Okay. I'm not from Persona. I use a gun. Am I from Resident Evil?
No.
No.
I am a mammal. I checked.
You
that
are a
before.
mammal,
I
yeah,
checked that
correct,
before.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So I am a mammal.
Limits you to humans and everything else.
Am I anthropomorphized?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Gosh. Okay, I'm not from Persona. I use a gun, but also it's sort of up for debate if I'm. Am I at all involved with Marvel?
No.
No.
I'm never gonna get.
So I'm an anthropomorphized animal. Am I from the Sonic series?
Yes.
Yep, you're from Sonic. Good luck guessing the 40 million characters.
There are so many.
Just keep going through them.
You're actually
Rachel
my
literally
OC
just
character.
googled video game
You're my
characters.
OC
So,
Sonic.
yeah.
Yeah.
good luck.
Okay, so I am deep into the woods of confusion. So I'm not. I am a human, right? I am a human.
Yeah.
I use a gun. It is debatable whether I'm a regular person or not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm male. I'm not a Nintendo character or a Square
or
Enix
any other
character or
companies.
any other. I don't
Company
exist.
created
I'm not
you.
in a video game. I'm not
Yeah,
related
no.
to Marvel.
No.
What game am I from? Not
Yes.
Yes. No. Okay. I use a gun.
You asked questions which narrow things down so limitedly.
Am I
like-
from Metal Gear Solid?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you
Yes.
All
You
right, I
both
know Devin's about to get it, so I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark. Am I Knuckles?
No.
And I get 2 questions.
Devin?
Am I at all like cybernetic or anything?
No.
No. Am I Snake?
Oh, wait.
There's
well,
a bunch of
Solids.
snakes.
Oh,
Which
am I
one?
Solid Snake?
Yeah.
you
You
are,
are
but also
Solid
Solid Snake has nanomachines, so he is somewhat cybernetic.
Okay.
Am I Shadow the Hedgehog?
sure
I
are.
fucking hate you all.
But all right, well,
I can't believe that I didn't even think of Snake.
I know. I was like, man, he's going so
You
far
went
away
so
from it.
wide.
wide.
It's because
Yeah.
Konami doesn't make games anymore.
That's true. true.
Yeah.
It is hard to
Also-
guess the game company when it's Konami.
Yeah.
Snake is a genetically engineered human
Yeah.
built
That's true.
specifically for
He's
combat.
genetically engineered, but when he said superpowers, I was like, wait a minute. He's not a normal guy, but he
Yeah.
doesn't
No,
have
but
superpowers.
Captain
That's
America
true.
is a superhero. Like
And
he has
he's just been
superpowers, and
genetically
he's
modified,
he's
yeah.
just
Snake's not
genetically
as
modified.
strong as Captain
Snake
America.
is still pretty darn strong.
Yeah. Not
that strong.
He's
Yeah.
strong and he survives.
He
a
has
lot,
emo-
you know.
Snake has emotional
Congratulations
strength.
to me and Quentin.
Yeah.
We got it first. We did it. I won the
That was
first
fun.
round.
That was good.
No, you didn't.
He's the editor though, so
Yeah,
he can
so it'll make it look like I'll just give myself
Yeah.
the gold. Yeah, on both of them. That was 64
Winners.
questions, guys.
Winners. You did actually win the
Winners.
first round. How did I gaslight you that
I was
easily?
gonna say, Devin
No, I
won.
did.
Devin won in the first
Yeah,
round.
but you said
No, I laughed at you. I laughed in your face.
I laughed
you
at your
laughed.
face.
You
But,
gaslighted
Because-
me.
oh, I
Yeah, you
gaslighted
gaslighted
Rachel. I did
It's
it.
not that hard to
I
do.
did
My
it,
memory
guys.
resets every
I've
5 minutes.
gaslighted
Yeah.
Rachel into giving me all of
But-
their money. Catch you guys next time when I upgrade this studio.
yeah.
Good night.
Guys, thank you guys for watching.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
really
thanks
fun.
for watching.
Thanks
If you
for
made it
watching.
this
Like-
far, like, comment, subscribe.
Do all the
Take a
Subscribe,
dump on
like,
your neighbor's
comment.
lawn.
Ooh,
Go
my
out
God,
and
don't do
find
that.
hunt your enemies for sport.
Subscribe
Yeah, don't
Or
do any
like,
of those
subscribe.
things.
Hit the subscribe button and like.
and
Yes,
comment.
please do.
And
If you're
subscribe.
still here, thanks for watching the whole thing.
Yeah.
Put a snake emoji in the comments if
Put
you
a
made it
little
this
snake.
far,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, absolutely.
Somehow Devin couldn't
And
get that.
maybe a
That's
hedgehog.
pretty.
Yeah.
And maybe a little
and,
hedgehog.
and maybe
Hedgehog.
some sunglasses for Funky Kong.
Yeah, and then a little robot for Rob.
Little robot for
Yeah,
Rob.
there you
That
go.
round went way too long. Rachel was
Way
like, "We got
too
time."
long.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we
No,
did.
didn't.
It was a
We
mistake.
I didn't know you were
It was a
gonna do that bad.
mistake.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, guys. Thanks for
All
watching.
right.
Bye,
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.